Alright, Liners, so today we are jumping into Guild Quest, where right now, as the community is calling it, we currently have access to the Nightmare Guild Quest Plus difficulty. It's still the same difficulty, but this is one of those Guild Quest phases that is going to offer more additional points, and also, most importantly, you are going to notice the Burn Plus status elements on the field. So of course, with that in mind, that's something to keep in mind when going into this quest, because you don't want your characters to burn to death. But obviously, with that, one change that was made that I think is actually a good change in my opinion, is how the score is calculated. So the max score reward right now is 600 million. That's what you get if you beat all 4 extra levels. And of course, that in of itself is going to be difficult because the HP has been further increased. But one good change that we are seeing, more so for the casuals that really just go into Guild Quest to get the orb rewards, that's the main reason you play this game mode, right? You only need to beat the 5 waves. You don't even have to go into the extra levels to get 520 million. So whenever these like really difficult weeks come around where they do want you to use those new characters because of the stat elements, in all honesty, if you just care about the orb rewards, you don't even need to like really worry about it that much, because all you have to do is defeat 5 waves and you get all the orb rewards, which is 90 orbs. So this week, and I guess going forward, anytime this Nightmare Plus Guild Quest is back, they have actually made getting the orb rewards a lot easier. We also saw that in the normal weeks, right, where you only have to defeat the 2 extra waves instead of defeating all 4 extra waves to get all the orb rewards. Again, I would rather just more orbs in general for this harder difficulty, but this is definitely like the second best route they could have gone. So now if you want to challenge yourself and try and clear the quest, maybe try and get the 600 million points, you know, there's a reason to do it. You get extra essence scrolls and secret links or potions, etc. But you're not really missing out on much if you can't beat all 4 extra waves, you know? Because the main reward you should always be striving for in any game mode, any game, is the currency, right? And that's the orbs in this case. So with that said, let's jump into the quest. I'm fairly confident with the team that I do have access today, we will be able to beat it. With the HP increase, what we are seeing now is that you really don't want to be bringing one character to solo the quest for you. You want to have those normal attack damage characters, those characters that can deal consistent damage every second of the quest, unless they decide to use a strong attack. So with the team that we do have here, we are using Oetsu. I will actually change him out for Shinji in like the later half of the video. In all honesty, Shinji will actually be a lot safer. That's always how it has been. Oetsu can get higher scores, but the clear might be a lot more harder to do. Shinji might clear slower, but he is going to clear safer because he does have Dominate. Oetsu is basically relying on his raw damage because he doesn't inflict any stat elements. Now my Oetsu is max transcended, 1000 extra focus, so with that in mind, we are going with this particular build, and we are going with these 3 particular soul traits. Now Macy is going to be, of course, a very clutch character for this quest. Not only does she have an attribute advantage against the final boss, she is also a really good normal attack damage character that can inflict lacerate, that can actually stop the enemies from attacking us. And she also does have the double boost with the gauge effect that does give her an additional 100% bruiser and also flurry +1. So flurry +2 overall. Now in a way, unfortunately for Oetsu, right, maybe he doesn't really work the best with a character like Macy, so that's something to keep in mind. Because Macy does have an increased stat element chance, so when she does inflict stat elements, Oetsu's losing a lot of damage. So Oetsu is more so here for us to clear the first 5 waves really fast, and then the hope is that, you know, Wonder Weiss and also Macy carry in those extra levels, extra level 1 to 4. So with that in mind, we're going with this particular build. I'm being lazy right now. Admittedly, I'm being lazy right now. This should be 500 attack, but we're just going to keep it as focus. We're going with these 3 particular soul traits. And then Wonder Weiss is pretty much set the same again. He's also pretty much maxed out. These 3 particular accessories with these 3 soul traits. Keep in mind, we are using the Kisuke link, so that is offering normal attack damage and also fire duration. Because Wonder Weiss is going to be walking into the burn pools with Oetsu, we can kind of dodge them, at least try to. So with that in mind too, when it comes to the bonus ability, we have made it so he is fully immune. He has 115% here, and then he does have 110% with the innate skill. And I guess we will speak about it in a couple of days' time, but one thing to keep in mind going forward to the future, right, is we are about to unlock the 4th page of the attribute tree system that is finally going to offer us an additional 10% resistance once you do finish the 4th page. So what that does mean in the future, you can actually give your character 200% resistance using those, you know, food items. I believe for this case, it would be the donuts that give 80% resistance. So previously, the most annoying part when it comes to, you know, making it so a character can be fully immune, 200% resistance, you need to give them 2 items, right? So in this case, we are using the accessory, and then we also have to use a bonus ability. In the future, you're only going to have to use the 1 food item that you have to evolve. And when evolved, it does offer, I believe, 20% attack and also SP, so it's not even too bad. So this 200% resistance will actually get a bit more manageable over time. So with that said, let's see how this does go. So I might honestly be better off just using, what's the name? Damn, he's kind of tanky. No, we already lost damage. Damn, we get burned quick. We get burned quick. Let's restart. This time around, let's make sure we don't take any burn damage. That happens so fast. So let's just go this way and stay around here. SA free. One enemy is left alive. I kind of just don't want to use my strong attack here. There we go. SA1 into the 2. So yeah, like I said, I might be better off just not even bringing one device. I know some people are probably going to bring Kisuke and then also Macy. Because the Oetsu's damage output's still really good here. Granted, mine is max center. Let's use the EX. Never mind. Okay, this is going pretty fast. SA1. The normal attack damage characters, man. They're so insane right now when it comes to this quest. Let's EX. There we go. 37 seconds remaining using this team. It's a really well-put team, though. I will be honest. My normal attack damage characters are kind of carrying here because I'm playing a bit too safe. I am, be honest. So this is where our damage output falls a bit off heavy. This is why I'm kind of more inclined right now to use Shinji. Because really, I'm just doing nothing. It's like, it really feels like I'm doing nothing right now. I mean, we're doing some damage, but let me flash the part the way. I have no idea where the bosses are. I need to learn when they spawn in. Right. Finally, Oetsu gets the gauge. That's probably the worst part about gauge characters is that they lose all the build-up. But we are staying at full stamina. Let's, I guess, finally use the Soul Bomb. Although it doesn't seem to amount to much, to be fair. I might actually use the Soul Bomb in the first 5 waves. Also, surprisingly, we are going to the last second. So we were able to beat it pretty easy, but I am using quite the worked on team. No need for me to even get Yoruichi, although I do want it for just the character itself. I feel like maybe I should be using Shinji. That would mostly just make the 5 extra waves or 4 extra waves a lot easier. I mostly need to lock in a bit in the first 5 waves because, again, that's where, you know, your clear time matters. So like I said, if we have a look at the score breakdown here, you are looking at a significantly lower score reward in the extra rewards, which I think is the best way to go about this if Caleb don't want to give us extra rewards or rewards more so. So all the rewards here, majority of the rewards are just cleared from clearing wave 1 to 5. Now, of course, they also did see a HP increase, but it's not really that much. You should at least be able to clear the 5 waves if you were able to clear it in the past. So everyone should be able to get their normal rewards, 90 orbs and all the extra stuff that you normally do get. And now you're only getting 20 million score per extra wave. And that's only going to offer you, you know, essence scrolls and, you know, quintessence scrolls and stuff like that. There we go. It's just a bit awkward in terms of where you have to stand because I'm just playing a bit too safe here. Let's use our 1. Use our 2. I don't think... Maybe we actually did hit Ambassador Seaweed there. But remember, Macy can actually inflict status augments. And that actually does ruin our damage output quite a bit. Damn, we took a hit. Is there any way for us to get back up full stamina? I mean, there is, but we're going to have to clear the quest. Let me use my EX. Going into Ginzaru. Fortunately for us, the status pools aren't too annoying. There is, like, plenty of space in the corners to stand. Was that any faster? I believe it was. So around 45 seconds. It's actually pretty decent. And we just got ahead and lost all our damage. It's like... Damn. I need to play it safe. But can we still beat it? I mean, Macy's going crazy, man. She's obviously hard carrying right now. But she's also ruining my damage output, you know, by inflicting status augments non-stop. I don't think we're going to be able to clear this because we did take some damage. So we're looking at basically just getting into X-Wave 4. Unless Macy can lock in. She does have the gauge effect. So what now? Can she clear? At this point, I don't even care if I'm burnt. Macy's carrying. This is crazy. My Macy's 4-5, but basically 2-5 with the level 10 attack and focus. And we still managed to clear. That is crazy. That is crazy. These normal attack damage characters are so much impactful right now. That's probably the idea of what Killab want you to do, right? They probably got tired of everyone just using one character to clear the quest. Granted, you're probably still doing that in the really good weeks with, you know, Kenpachi and also Tenfani Ichigo and Renji, for example. Those really high damage dealing characters. They're probably still going to solo it themselves, but you really do want to have these normal attack damage characters if your main can't carry you through it. So with that said, I think we did a pretty decent job with Oetsu. Not really. It's definitely more of a Macy showcase right now. But let's go ahead and use Shinji. So Shinji also does have the problem of not being able to, you know, be immune. He only has 100% resistance, but we do get the benefit here of being able to inflict dominate. And that should hopefully just allow our team in general to reliably stay at full stamina. More so Wonder Whites and also myself. In this case, I kind of want to use Nini's Soul Trait. I know Jushiro is going to offer the Berserker that multiplies my base Berserker. I don't think Shinji has that much. Or does he? He actually has like 80%, don't he? He actually has a high strong attack damage output. But with Nini, we are just guaranteed 32% strong attack damage. We are getting the 12 recharge. And I guess the Devastation might help a little bit if we do need that extra bit of Soul Bomb damage, you know? And then let's go ahead and use Ryukun. And then let's get some full stamina in. Let's throw in Chads. So team pretty much stays the same. It's just going to be a lot easier against the bosses because we are now going to be able to inflict status on them. So like I said at the start of the video, Oetsu can definitely clear faster. He always has been the faster clearing character. But Shinji's always been like the casual friendly character, I would say. The character that kind of just clears with ease because you have the Dominate. So we just have to use a few strong attacks. It don't even matter what damage we're doing. As long as we're inflicting Dominate, it's keeping our team at full stamina. So again, I'm finding it much easier right now to use Shinji. Let me go and use my EX. There we go. So as you can see, yeah, it's probably a little bit slower. But it's going to be much easier. And then going into Gin Izuru. Now keep in mind, my Shinji is actually 2-5 for those that are wondering. Much slower, actually, to be fair. Much slower. But we should make up for it in the extra ways, because there's only one boss to deal with. We can keep him in the corner, and we can just non-stop inflict Dominate, right? And that should allow our team to basically stay at full stamina. So Macy's going in. She's doing her damage. Let me just use the SA1 just in case. SA2, I'm pretty sure we did inflict the Dominate. It is getting super close, though. But again, Macy's about to get the gauge. So, like, it looks close, but then it just goes crazy for, like, 10 seconds. Look at Macy's damage output. All right, here we go. Soul Bump. Oh, hold on. Was there some fire effects? Was those Stars Plus pulls coming through the Som animation? So, unfortunately, we weren't able to beat it, surprisingly. So, keep that in mind. Maybe Oetsu is bad. I mean, we know that, but it was much easier in a way. Like, I wasn't like flash stepping around the place. I was kind of just standing still. We'll definitely be able to do that again next attempt. We should be able to beat it. All right, here we go. Almost to our next attempt. SA2. I'm going to let's use the SA1 there. So this is going to be pretty much like the safe spot to reliably inflict status augments. I guess, to be fair, the summon damage isn't helping too much with Shinji, because what I'm finding out right now is that the mobs are staying alive. Let's use our one. I think it's a bit faster. Going into Gin Izuru. SA1, 2, and then we'll use our 3. The boost does go off. Actually, that's something to keep in mind. I've actually built Macy with full normal attack damage. So there is actually a time where we have no boost active at a certain point. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe you want to bring another booster and just let Macy be like the main DPS character. So right now, for example, we actually do have the gauge effect active on Macy, but there's no boost active. Only now the boost active. No, she has the... Never mind. She has the SA1 team boost, so we always have a boost active. It's just going to be a small team boost. So right now, I think the big team boost is active. Let's Soul Bomb. I keep skipping it. It does seem like the burn pulls are actually coming through onto the Sun, which actually looks pretty cool. So there you go. Just really have to rely on Macy when it comes to this character. So the benefit that Yoruichi is going to have is, one, her damage output is significantly higher when compared to Shinji. Damage output on Oetsu is also really good, but the problem with Oetsu is that, you know, he doesn't really work the best with Macy. And that's where Yoruichi is going to come in, because she can inflict paralysis, she can just stop the enemies in place easily, while also doing Oetsu level damage, making it easier for your normal attack damage characters to actually go in and just deal their damage, you know, without the enemy walking all over the place. So let me just go in once more, not to actually finish the quest, but mostly just use the Soul Bomb, because I do want to see it, because it looked a bit different when we used this. Let's go into the middle. Yeah, that kind of makes the Soul Bomb look a lot cooler. It's not supposed to be like that. It's definitely a glitch, but that's the first I've seen of that. Is that just only in Shinji's Soul Bomb? I think it is. But there you go. That's the Guild Quest video for today. Again, the banner will be releasing tomorrow, so we will be summoning Hopefully I can get Yoruichi because I do want to try out Yoruichi in this particular team. Yoruichi scores are definitely going to go a bit crazy because you can use Macy, you can use Yoruichi, and then you can just take off, one device. You don't even need one device. And then you can use a character like, where are they? Jushiro? The swimsuit Jushiro to get the extra 20 SAD and then also 40% more damage. So, yeah, Yoruichi's going to go crazy in Guild Quest. But if you only care about the orb rewards, you do not need the new characters. You're going to need a really good team to beat all 4 extra waves. But the most important reward for everyone should be the orbs. And right now, you get it only for beating the first 5 waves, which I think is actually a pretty good change. So it's clear Caleb is still adamant, of course, on making Guild Quest harder for those new characters that are coming out. But at the very least, they aren't taking away orbs from, the people that are just trying to clear and get all the orb rewards. Either way, let me know what score you lads did get. What team did you use in the console on? And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.